Welcome to the 17th video in the series making a 2D racer in Unity. So we left the previous video at the state you can see on the screen here with a leaderboard. And that leaderboard is thrown up as soon as the leading car crosses the line, and when that happens, everything freezes and stops. Now it's okay as is, but it could be a little bit better. So to make it better, in this video and in the next one, what we're going to do is spice it up a little bit. In this one, we're going to add a grace period onto the race, meaning that once the leader has crossed the line and won the race, we're going to allow a few seconds to elapse to allow other cars to also try and finish the race as well before the leaderboard is then finally shown. Then once we have that in place, in the next video what we'll do is we'll see if we can also sort them by incremental progress around the lap, which is a little bit trickier, which is why I want to do it in another video. So this one is all about the grace period. To get this to work, we're going to use our race controller. That's what its job is, controlling the race. And for it to be able to apply the grace period, it needs to have control over stopping the cars. And at the moment, that's not the case. If I remember correctly, the cars are actually reacting to the race over action. So let's get the race controller controlling the cars actually stopping. So I'm going to double click on just a script to open up VS Code. And first off, let's go into the car core. So let's have a look what's going on in here. Okay, so in the on race over here, that's where we're changing the state to car state waiting. What we'll do is we'll add a public method in here called setRaceOver. We don't need any parameters into this at all. And we'll change this to public. And this now changes the state to car state waiting, and being public, we can invoke this then from our race controller. We'll leave this connected for now. We'll come back to this in a moment. Let's go into the race controller. And then inside the finish race function here, we'll go ahead and invoke this setRaceOver. So going back to the race controller then, we'll do this after the debug log here. And what I'm also going to do is remove this line from here. We can make a for each loop, and we'll loop for each, and we'll save our car. And that's going to be in our racedata.keys. So remember, the keys are all of those car cores. We can get each of those, and then we can set the race over. Now we're still emitting the race over down here with our standings as well. And the car cores are still picking that up. And with this being called here, they no longer need to. So let's go back to the car core. And what we can do is we can remove that, and we can remove that. So we've removed our subscription, also our disconnection from it as well. And then the on race over, we don't need any more here as well. So we can just delete that and do Control-S to save. And then I'm going to quickly drop back into Unity, run a very short race, and just check that everything's working exactly as before. Nothing should have changed. It's just that we're setting the race over from the race controller rather via the action. So back in the Unity IDE, I've been ahead and run a 2-lap race, and Possum, as ever, has won it. And the important thing is here, the behavior is exactly the same as before. So I'll close that down. So to be able to add a grace period to allow other cars also to finish the race, we don't want to immediately set the race over on all of the cars when the leader actually crosses the line to win the race. So let's drop back into VS Code. And then down inside our race controller, so in the on lap completed here, we're checking if the car that's just completed the lap has completed the race. And if it has, we're invoking the finish race, which causes all of the cars to stop. So we're going to remove this from here for now. And what we'll do is just get hold of this particular car and set the race over, because that's the winner. And I'd like to take this log actually, and I'm pretty confident that's all working now. So just going to cut that actually, so we've not got too many logs, and just drop this below here like this. Then we can have a race controller car name, and I'm going to say finished. Then we can delete the laps because we don't need that. And we can add on the best lap and also the total time. Now as I look at this, we're not setting the total time, are we? Let's have a look up here. So we do it normally inside finish race here, don't we? So what I'm going to do is copy this line from finish race here and drop this down inside here after we've set the race over. So we've broken things a little bit because we never actually finished the race. We never emit this here, so the leaderboard will never appear. However, with the logic like this, we're now going to allow each of the cars in the race to keep driving round and round until they hit the finish line. So I'd like to check that we see that, and then we'll deal with the leaderboard and the grace period. Okay, so back in Unity then, I'm going to run a race. It's only a 2-lap race here. I've made a couple of skill adjustments as well, just to speed it up a little bit. But hopefully what should happen now is the cars will be allowed to actually complete the race, or in Maisie's case, start off, crash, turn around, and then, there we go, get going again. So I've set Maisie as really low skill, but quite high speed actually, so it might actually catch up, we will see. Anyway, we're on the second lap now. And here's the big moment. What we should get is the race carrying on. Yes, excellent. Okay, so they're now all able to finish the race. We don't get a leaderboard or anything, but that's because we've messed the code up a little bit. But now that that's working, we can implement this grace period and then force the end of the race after a certain amount of seconds. So I'll stop that. So inside our race controller, let's scroll up to the top here. Let's serialize ourselves another field. This is going to be a float, and we'll call this grace time. And I'll set that by default, say, to be 5.0 seconds. Then we can duplicate the finished boolean here, and we'll call this grace timer running. And then we'll also need to store a race time at which the grace timer is going to stop. And whilst I've seen this actually, I'm going to do started equals false and finish equals false here, and just give these default values. They will default to false, but I think it's a little bit cleaner to read them like this. And the race time here can be 0.0f. So we'll make another one here, and we'll call this finish deadline. So once the leader crosses the line and wins the race, we'll be starting our grace timer. And at that point, we'll also set a finish deadline, which will be our current race time plus our grace time. So let's drop down then into the if data and race completed. Where are we? Here we are. Now what we want to do is start our grace timer if this was the first car to cross the line. So the first thing we'll check is whether the grace timer is running or not. And if it's not running, then we can start it. So we'll say the grace timer running is equal to true. Then we want to set our deadline. So that's going to be our finish deadline is equal to our current race time plus our grace period or our grace time. And maybe here we can debug log that we've started it. And here I've put the actual deadline rather than the amount of time here itself. So maybe I'll make this a little bit clearer actually. So I'm going to say at and race time. I'll call this race time and then I'm going to hide this a little bit and deadline. That's a little bit better. Now we can use this timer to invoke the finish race and get the leaderboard showing properly. We need to do this inside our update here. So we've incremented our race time. Now we're going to ask, is the grace timer running? And if it's running, we want to check whether our race time is greater than our finish deadline. If it is, then now we need to finish the race. So now we can invoke our finish race. Now we have no data to send in here, but we don't actually need any now. So let's go down to the finish race. We can remove the data from here. Finished is now true. We can remove all of this because we don't need it, although perhaps maybe just one sentence of debug log. Actually, I'm looking for one down here so I can steal it. That will do. In fact, let's do this here and go back up here so that we can see it happening. So we'll say race finished at race time and we have the race time. And let's just double check what I did here. Okay, I've got a colon there, which I don't need. That needs to go here. That's better. Okay, scrolling back up then. So in the finish race, we set finished is now equal to true. We debug log it as well. Then we invoke the set race over on all of the cars. Now it will already have been invoked on some of the cars that have crossed the line. It doesn't matter here though, it being done a second time, it's simply setting the state. Once we've done that, then we can get hold of our standings. And in our standings, we keep it exactly the same. We compare the number of laps and then we compare the total time. The difference to previously is now the total time will actually count for those cars that have actually finished the race, because when they finish the race, their set total time is being set down here. So we should now have a better looking leaderboard. And then back inside Unity, I went ahead and actually ran a race. You can see with the race control on the right hand side here that I have a grace time of 5 seconds and a total laps of 2. And the leaderboard's actually worked now. So both Maisie and Possum got a total race time and they were sorted correctly. They've also got their best lap and the number of laps completed. Tigger unfortunately didn't manage to make it. So what I'm going to do now is stop this. And I'm going to change the grace time to something quite big actually, maybe 20 seconds. That should be enough even for Tigger to finish it. I'm going to fade out and be right back. I'm just going to run this race as well. And that worked as well. They all got a lot more time and you can see that they've all managed to finish quite close to each other this time. Actually, with Tigger winning it surprisingly this time, then Maisie and then Possum. Really good. So I'm going to close that down. There is, however, one little problem still with this regarding the grace time, and you probably spotted it yourselves as well when you're playing around. In the race I've just run, I think all the cars finished within about 3 or 4 seconds of each other, and I then had to wait a good 16 seconds until the grace time has elapsed before seeing the leaderboard. That is not very good. So what we should really do is have some way of detecting if all the cars are finished, and if they have them, we'll just show the leaderboard straight away. So back inside our race controller then, above the finish race, let's add ourselves a private ball called all cars finished. Then we'll do a for each through our race data values, so I'll say for D in race data values. And then if we're not race completed on D, we can just return false. Otherwise we return true. And then down in the race completed inside here, what we can do now is force a race finish if all of the cars are finished. And then we can return. That should be a little bit better. So back inside the IDE, I'm going to leave the grace time 20 seconds, total laps 2, and run a race here and see if we do see the leaderboard when the final car finishes. Okay, so the first 2 have finished. We do have a straggler, but it's not taking 20 seconds. So hopefully now we see a leaderboard here. And we do. Excellent. Cool. So we've now got the leaderboard result of the race, and we're also not being forced to wait for our grace time to expire as well. So I'll stop that. And with that done, I think we've reached a good place to stop this particular video. We have one more thing that I'd like to do regarding the leaderboard and the race data and sorting of the final order, and that's deal with the cars that don't actually complete the race. If 2 of them are on the same lap, we want to be able to sort the positions by the amount of progress that they've made around the lap. So we'll take a look at that in the next video. Thanks very, very much for watching this one. Comments, questions, welcome as always on YouTube.